Well, hello. Hello there. Mm. Good morning. Good morning, my loves. I thought I would kick it OG style and bring it to the IG vibe today, as I've been, I guess it's just a week. Time is so funny. But I've just revamped, reinvented, recommitted to the creative practice of showing up every day, sharing the goods, pouring it out on the page, vocalizing it, making that connection, making it happen, making it count. Beep. Just started it did start a long time ago, let's be honest, but YouTube is something, it's interesting because I think about the different ways that I've created and shared in the past, and I always had a bit of a no thanks to YouTube. I don't know why, and it's interesting when we finally, if we do, come around, revisit, right? We're always cycling through. We come back around and go, yeah, I think that actually is a very good call. I don't know why I might have resisted that for so long, or why was I against it kind of thing. And so it's well, let's find out, let's lean in and find out, because there's a lot of growth there. There's a lot to be explored there, a lot of learning. And I really think that's kind of the whole point. So I'm sharing with you today. And if you're tuning in, thanks so much. I'll also put this on YouTube. It can't be when you're in a place of fully taking the lid off, right? And you're like, fuck pigeonholes. F all this shit. I don't want to put these labels and things on me. Then you really got to be with that. And there are going to be so many opportunities, I find, that show up in a single day that are are you sure? Oh, were you going to go ahead and, but were you just going to limit that a little bit? Okay. So yeah, it's always ongoing. And what I want to riff on this morning, if you're with me here, thank you, is the ratio that is routine versus risk. Yes. Some of the greatest artists and creative advice and people that have committed their entire lives to their craft have come out and said a kind of variation of this, which is as soon as you get comfortable, as soon as you master something, as soon as you've nailed it, it's time to have a different pathway in. Same with meditation. As soon as you feel like you've nailed your morning, it feels really good. You kind of go in and you can drop in right away. It's how can you make yourself as uncomfortable as possible to be ensuring that you're continuing to grow and learn along the way? Which is, it feels why would I do that? I've hit the secret sauce. I feel really good in this. And it's well, it's if you're right-handed and you can draw with your eyes closed, it's try your left, So this is what I'm thinking about. Obviously, risk can be used, there could be different words for it. I also refer to the cringe quite often. So anything that does feel risky. And risky is both internal and external. And a risk is just what you've decided in your own mind. It's not universal. It's not across the board. It might not even be a risk at all, but for you and for your experience, it's something that is currently outside of your comfort zone, or something that you've become really familiar with. And then with that, the routine, the versus the risk ratio. And then what's on the other side of that, why would we even be looking at that at all, is the rewards, right? And again, we've got the internal aspect and we've got the external aspect. So something that is a reward can be measured depending on your metric system, right? So you got to know that. That gives you an opportunity to go, well, how am I actually measuring what worked, what didn't work? Are you focused more on the external rewards and how they show up, dependent on other people or how much money you made or whatever? Or is it rewarding, which is an essence, which is a vibration, which is an internal experience? And how much weight are you putting on either or, right? And so this gives a lot of a lot of playground here for us to explore. So we're looking at what our routines are. And again, this can be as simple as, it can be as small or as grand. It can be micro, it can be macro. It's like there's so much in there. So it's like, what's your creative routine? What's your healthy habits routine? What's your this? And then where are you spicing it up and keeping it interesting for yourself so that you're continuously learning and exploring and growing, trying new things and accessing different types of rewards that were maybe not previously available based on what you'd already gotten really comfortable with, right? So if you've hit a plateau or you're kind of just coasting, it's like, okay, well, how are we gonna get a little risky? What are some things that we haven't tried? And again, just to go back and keep it super simple, it's like, okay, you're an incredible, renowned artist, and you've always used your right hand for painting. So the risk would be then try 30 minutes with your left hand, and that can be daily, that can be weekly, that could be whatever. So it's like, let's look at our day to day and let's find out what that ratio is for us right now. Like what's the comfort metric? What's the discomfort metric? How much learning is available? Like how much is going on for you right now? And what like season are you experiencing? And how do you currently define being rewarded? Is it you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and I want to think about these risks in terms of like so many different ways, like emotional risks, creative risks, expressive risks, all the different ways that we can try out carving new pathways, and then finding different results, finding different treasures, finding different hurdles, and keeping ourselves going, keeping ourselves moving and engaged and alive and awake and in awe of this life, right? Because routine is a beautiful thing. Having that foundation, having the things that work for you and that are tools and resources that really support you and provide you the space to dive into your mastery and your craft, like, oh yes, please, thank you. Can all of that be your base? And can you see the rest of it as an opportunity to play? So maybe you do go and check out a new, I'm thinking about a playground here. You do go and do the monkey bars, and then you're like, well, I haven't really stretched those muscles before. So that was a little risky for me. And maybe you risk a little bruised knee or something like that. And that's really, we're also talking about like how our ego can like prevent us from trying those new things, because it's like, I'm not that good. I'm a beginner at that. I might very well suck at that. I don't know if I'm ready to do that, or like I'm really comfortable staying where I am right now. So okay, there it is. That's the perfect example of where you're in the routine vibe, and maybe it's time to involve a little bit more risk elements. For again, those rewards, they come external, they come internal. What can result from having exploring a risky emotion is allowing ourselves to feel more without going, hey, that's too much, or allowing ourselves to speak more or to show up more or whatever. And it's like, that's a visibility risk. It's like all those different variants. Again, those are putting more emphasis on the external than the internal. Because how does it feel? You go, I did that. I did show up. That was something I previously wasn't doing in my routine, but I put something else out there new, and like, I'm proud of myself. And that felt really good. And like that, like upped my confidence or my self-worth. And then you get all these new treasures, internal rewards. And that's all right? Yeah. So that's what I'm vibing with today. I hope you've taken a little nugget and that you can have a little have a little thoughtful meander about what your ratio is of the risk to the old routine there, and see what's happening. And so if you've enjoyed this and you're still with me, thank you. You're a darling. Gosh. And come hang out with me on the YouTube. I'm going to be doing this, every day, every other day, and I'm stretching myself and finding new monkey bars to play on, and stretching and flexing in new ways, because that's kind of the whole point, right? So my loves, I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll leave you there. Woo!